Good day, everyone. So that's day two. I left Punta Mita yesterday at about 7:30. So it's 9 o'clock right now. I'll try to do one update per day now that I have my Starlink connection. So I'm showing you the sea state right now. It's pretty calm. It's been that way pretty much all day. A bit more wind than that at first, but not too much. And consumed a lot of electrical power. I'll show you why. It's because the Starlink antenna has been working all day, all night, so it burned through a fair amount, and I'll show you later the effect of that on my power consumption. So this morning, although I'm not going super fast, the hydro generator is in the water and slowly but surely helping lift up the battery state as they got pretty low today through the night. All right, so yeah, I just thought I'd show you a little bit of my new onboard system SA. So what you're seeing here is the battery's at 53%. So I burned 207 amps of 12 volt last night, which is not quite accurate because it was a bit more than that. Like the hydro generator's been in the water for quite a bit, and so it's starting to recharge the battery, and the sun's coming up. So right now I'm producing enough power as it is to like offset all the power consumption of the boat. That's the fridge, all the navigation system, the autopilot, the two VHF radios, the inverter's working, also charging my phones and other device, and I'm creating in excess of 6 amp apart from all that energy consumption. So if I look at my solar panel, so my big solar panel, the 50 amp here, that's two times 235 watts. They're already producing 50% of capacity, so that's charging hard. And 24 watts is the small solar panel that's probably in the shadows of the big solar panel right now. And all that, so that's like 250 watts, let's say, plus the hydro generator that's probably producing another uh, easily 50 or 60 watts at the moment. So all that creates that picture here of we're charging the battery at 4 amps, and that's at 9 a.m. in the morning. So I'm not at all close to peak sun. Obviously, like peak sun is going to be around noon, and so that's that for energy management today. So I'll just burn that. This is super cool. So that's marine traffic, like that's an application. I'm getting all that, by the way, through my Starlink connection. So as you can see, like right now I'm here, which is about like 100 miles, 110 miles away from the point of Cabo Corriente, which is here, and I'm still getting like all of this website capacity and all of this data. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a data link the same way like a high performance cable connection would be, but I mean, as you can see, I'm 100 miles away from land. The boat is moving. I'm underway, and I'm still getting fairly fast. Actually, like really fast internet connection. So if we look on the live map here, that's also super fun. I don't want that anymore. How do I go back to not having the track? I don't want. Okay, there you go. So I got rid of the track, and I think I'm this boat here. Pleasure craft position receive. Is that me? Gotta be me. Or I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Somebody. Pleasure craft. Okay, so see, I'm getting out of the normal coverage. So I think those two positions are me because there's no other boat around me here. So this position received by satellite. So you see, my AIS is a Cortex from Vesper, and it's transmitting my position via satellite. And now it's looking like it's doing like a limited data kind of option. And this position from 34 minutes ago is kind of more precise, but I think that's boat me, and you see that on the live map. But what's super cool is that now I'm able to see all the ships that are around me, and this scale here is 30 miles. You can see the scale here, 30 miles for that distance. So if I bring like, what I'm seeing here is the closest ship is about 30 miles away from me, and further than 30 miles away, and I can see these ships, I can know their name, I can probably find their email if I really wanted to, and I can communicate with them, or I can at least see them coming. And so I'm single-handing right now. I'm doing this passage solo, and for me to be able to like see where the other boats are and see that all around this area here, I got like, if you do a 30-mile ring around my boat, there's not another boat that's like anywhere near. And as I'm moving out further offshore, you can see that here is a big gap. So all these ships are following the coast here, going from Panama to probably California in the US and back and forth like that. And again, I'm here, and there's this big gap here where there's no one at all. Now, obviously, these are all AIS ships, so it doesn't cover the classic sea container that I could hit that everybody's talking about, or another small boat that would have any AIS data available. Hopefully, they have receiving AIS and they're able to see me come in. So that would be great. So I'm just gonna go and predict wind now. So this is predict wind. I'm gonna just so I'm about in this wind here, and I'm going towards, like, I'm gonna pass just south of Socorro here. So as I'm moving out, the wind's gonna be more and more favorable for me, both in direction and in speed. This here is super cool. So I'm just gonna refresh that download here, so you can see how fast Starlink gets it for me. And I can zoom into that a little bit. Whoop, that's too much zoom. Uh, Again, now Socorro's disappeared. It's going to reappear. I guess it's just downloading the map right there. But if we look at the forecast, this is going to be like a dream trip. Like, I've been looking forward to doing that run for quite some time. So you see the wind's going to make a bit stronger. That's not too strong. Like, all these barbs are showing 10 knots right now. Whoops, now it's getting a bit less windy, and the direction's not going to be fun. So that's for tomorrow. But I mean, that's not a big deal. It's not a huge deal. Now it's getting stronger through Thursday through Friday. But again, nothing more than 10 knots. So that's what I'm looking at for the next 3 days, like some 10 to 15 knots wind, which my boat is set up to. Now it's building wind a little bit more. That's in Friday. So you're looking at 15 knots now and 20 knots in some spot. I'll be away from the harsher conditions that are close to shore here. So that's going to make me do some nice way. And I've already done 130 miles in my first 24 hours. So it's just going to get better and better from here. I mean, doing good boat speed is good stuff, because both for energy power, because of the my hydrogen is going to allow me to have a lot of power, and it's also like it's going to get me there faster. So if I do 150 miles per day on average, so I'm 20 miles down on my average for the start. But that's not a bad start, considering I had to go out of Puerto Vallarta and Banderas Bay early in the morning, where there's typically not a lot of wind. As you can see, there's not a lot of wind in there, and there's more wind when you get outside. So once I got outside, I made good way all day, and it's just going to get better as the day go by. Just thought I'd show you that. That's the route I'm intending to follow. It's basically that's straight out of predictwind weather routing tool. So like, you don't see it on the screen there, but it shows like Puerto Vallarta up there. So the boat would be there at first, and then if we run it, you can see that you have the whole forecast and the whole trajectory of the boat. Obviously, that's a fresh restart from today, and I've put my my initial green mark still in Puerto Vallarta, which is obviously not accurate. And now it's just running through the day. So as you can see, it's got me following that position here. And the three models are there. So what you have to see here is it wants me to stay like up north quite a fair bit, and then go as west as I can. And the whole purpose of that is to, I'll just pause it here. So and then you just go south. the whole purpose of that is to try to pick a spot to cross this here, which is the ITCZ for intertropical conversion zone. That's the only sort of real tough thing on the trip to make it here to Nuku Iva, and that's harsh here because there's not a lot of wind. So it's trying to pick the best time for me to go and cross that. So if I fast forward the forecast here, just to see what kind of wind it's forecasting. Obviously, okay, so it's showing me right now that when I get there, which should be on the 21st of April, according to the forecast, and that takes into account the speed that my boat's able to produce in those wind conditions. So however they do it, it's a much better, more refined calculation that I can do on my own over such a large area, because it's forecasting the route of the boat according to my speed, according to the winds that I'll encounter each day, according to their forecast. Obviously, I'm on the 12th of April now. A forecast to the 21st of April is not reliable, but it's forecasting that on the 21st of April, I should have some very, very good wind to cross the ITCZ with a bit of a lull here, which I can deal with by putting myself a bit more through here, even though like I'm going to do a bit more distance. So very interesting tool, very refined, and so glad that I can have access to that offshore with the full capability thanks to Starlink again.